In software development, make only easy changes. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it be? But there's actually a way to achieve this. Hello, my name is David and you're watching a video series where I talk about software development while I work on my bonsai trees and on my tree bonsai. And today I'm working on a rather big project, and that's why we're starting this video here in my garden and not in my office where I usually record them. It's early October here in Austria and I don't expect this tree to fatten up much more anymore this year. So I now want to apply some wire and do some bending that then can hopefully stay on the tree over the winter. What I want to achieve here is that actually this tiny little branch here should become the new crown of the tree. So I will need to get this out of the way and this part of the branch here. But I don't want to do this right now because the trunk has to fatten up a lot more for the size of the tree. It has to get at least 8 to 10 centimeters thick, and now we have not even 3 yet. So what I want to do here is use this part of the tree and this part as a sacrificial branch. And even though it will take me some years until I can finally use this as the next crown of the tree, I can start to do things now that will make this big change that I will do later in 3 or 4 years easier. So I'll do exactly what Kent Beck has said, which is first make the change easy and then make the easy change. And the first part, making the change easy, might actually be the hard part. So what I want to do now is I want to first wire this main trunk of the tree. So I'm going to measure some wire and I use a double wire to do this. Then I will wire out this branch and then also the side branches that might become the new crown. And then I will bend them in place, but I will not do all the bending all at once. I will bend it a little bit today and then do more bending over the following days until all the branches are in a position where I like them. I need just about twice this length, and I will start up here, anchoring the wire to this branch, anchoring it very closely, and then I'll start with the lower wire first, go around the tree a few times, especially before and after the bend I want to make, and then use the second wire exactly above the first one. Then I want to wire out this branch, where the upper part will also become a second sacrificial branch, and I'm using a slightly thinner wire, and since I have to anchor this wire to the other one, I need slightly more wire than just for the branch. This length might be just okay, and I am anchoring the wire against the wire on the trunk, and then I'm wiring this branch, and I'm trying to not squeeze any butts that have been forming here, because I want to keep them as new branches on this new part of the trunk. And then I've said before that I want this little branch here to become the new crown, the new leader, and then ultimately the new crown. So I also need to apply some wire to this, and I use even thinner wire here, maybe something like this. And I'm again first anchoring a little bit against the bigger wire on the main branch. And while I'm wiring out this a little bit more, using the same principles as before, first anchoring and then wiring, let's talk about how we have a similar thing in software development. We sometimes talk about the open-closed principle, which says that modules, especially classes, but also our other parts of our code, should be closed for modification and open for extension. What this means in a very oversimplified way is that when we have to add a new feature, we want to be able to do this by only adding new code and without changing any existing code. I know this is a huge oversimplification, but let's roll with this for now. So can we write our code in a way so that we always only have to add new code when we want to add new features? No, that's impossible. That would mean that we need to have an infinite number of options in our code and that we have to make it so generic that it doesn't do anything at all. So we cannot completely achieve this, but we can achieve it for every pending change. So the idea is to first prepare our code for a new change, which means to make the change easy, and this might be the hard part, and then we later can make the easy change. The hard change I want to do here is make this the new leader. I already said that. And I will do this in 2 or 3 years, or I don't know how long it will take until this can take over as the new leader. And in the meantime, I will keep this trunk and this branch as sacrificial branches. And I will now bend them out of the way so that in 2 or 3 years' time, making this change, making this the new crown of the tree will be easy. So I'm now preparing the tree for a change that I know will come in the future. I have now bent these branches up into place so that this branch, which should become the new leader, already grows almost in the right direction. As I've said before, I will do some more bending over the coming days when I see better what's still missing and which direction I want to go. And I did a very similar thing during a refactoring video I recorded some time ago, where I wanted to change an interface from a simple built-in functional interface to my own interface. And I didn't do this in one big step. I did it in 3 small steps. I first made a new interface that extended the old one. Then I changed stuff to the new interface, removed the extends, and then I could rename the method to something that made more sense in the business domain of the code I was writing. So over several steps, I first tried to make the change easy, and then I made the very easy change, which was a simple IDE-supported refactoring step, a simple rename. Now I'm going to apply some cut-paste here, so because I'm not 100% sure whether I injured the tree here or not, and here I not only want to make a future change easy, I also want to protect the tree from the changes I'm making by applying some tape before doing the wiring and the bending, and by applying some cut paste where I think I might have injured the tree. But that's a topic for another video that I'm also currently recording. So why do we first try to make the change easy and then make the easy change? Because it separates concerns and it separates responsibilities. Making the change easy is refactoring. Not necessarily here with the tree, but with software. Making the change easy is always simple refactoring, and we can use the same tools that make those refactoring safe and easy. We can work in very small steps, we can use automated refactoring tools, and we can use our tests, our unit tests and our integration tests, our approval tests to make sure that we do not change any functionality during refactoring. And then when we are sure that we made the change easy without changing the externally visible functionality of the software, then we can make the easy change, which is then actually changing the functionality of the software, changing what the users see. So what we have here is a separation of concerns, a separation of responsibility. First, refactoring, and then implementing the change. And by doing it in 2 steps, we are better protecting ourselves from unintended consequences, and also we make code reviews easier because you can review 2 separate kinds of changes separately. Are you doing this when you develop software? Are you first refactoring and then only are making easy changes? Or do you do bigger changes? Tell me in the comments and let's have a discussion about how and when this can make more sense than bigger changes. If you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button and also activate notifications so that you don't miss any future videos, and also hit the like button. This helps me a lot with the algorithm. My name is David. I'm a technical agile coach and a trainer for agile engineering methods, and I hope to see you next time when I talk about software development while I'm working on one of my bonsai trees, or like in this case, on one of my early stage projects.